Hello and welcome to the Abundantly Favored podcast, where faith meets mindset, gratitude fuels growth, and your words shape your world. We're your hosts, Jenny and Shelley, two sisters, wives, moms, and lifelong encouragers who believe God has richly equipped you to live an abundant life.
Each week, we dive into real conversations about mindset, faith, purpose, and the power of speaking life. Whether you're in the car, on a walk, or curled up with coffee, consider this your weekly dose of encouragement.
Abundantly favored, walking in grace, carried by mercy, held in His place. Abundantly favored, chosen and free, overflowing with love for all to see.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Abundantly Favored podcast.
Hello.
Hello, this is Shelley. I'm here with Jenny, of course, and we have a very, very special guest today. This special Father's Day episode, we are interviewing our dear dad, Larry Bailey, and we are so excited to have you here, Dad.
Welcome.
Be here. Thank you.
Good.
Awesome. We're going to dive right in with the Bible verse that we selected for today's episode. So the Bible verse we selected is from Proverbs chapter 20, verse 7. The righteous man walks in his integrity. His children are blessed after him. So we thought that was fitting, kind of like when we interviewed Mom a few weeks ago. Gosh, it's been longer than that now. For Mother's Day, we thought, well, we can ask her what her favorite Bible verse was, but we decided we didn't want to do that with her. Same with you. So we picked that one. So we thought that was very fitting for you. So just a little bit about our dad. So he grew up, he's the oldest of 5 kids. And I'm just going to dive right in, Dad. So what was life like growing up as the oldest of 5?
Oh, I was, yeah. I grew up on a farm, and I was born on the 7th of May, and my dad was farming my grandfather's farm, and he was very upset that Dad left and not planting corn the day I was born.
Oh,
Corn did get planted just a day later.
Yes.
something more important was happening.
Yeah.
Yes.
Something I didn't think about with obviously, being born May 7th, that's right in the heart of planting season. So our
Right.
grandpa, your dad, told his dad, sorry, I'm not going to be there. I'm going to the hospital.
That's right.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So you were the oldest of 5 kids. So there are 4 boys and 1 daughter or 1 sister that you have.
Yep.
So 4 brothers and 1. No, am I doing the math wrong? 3
No, you're
brothers,
right.
1
Right.
Yeah.
sister, and you make 5. We're really starting off strong, aren't we? So, Dad, were there any kind of responsibility since you were the oldest that, or things you had to do around the farm that maybe your younger siblings didn't? Or was there more responsibility put on you because you were the oldest?
Yeah, there was. It's as we got older, our we had to get up early in the morning before we went to school so we could milk the cows and feed the pigs and gather the eggs and all that. And my second brother, Dennis, he was 13 months younger than me, and so it was up to us to do that. Well, one day we got to talking and thinking, what is going on? How come our third brother never goes out and helps do chores? So we had to talk to Dad and say, Dad, we think that Ron needs some responsibility too. So get him out here doing chores. So they decided that he could go gather the eggs. Well, one night it was dark and we got done with chores and we lived on the other side of the road from where the barn was. And in the middle of the road was a whole bunch of broken eggs. Well, it seems like he tripped and dropped the basket of eggs.
Oh, no.
So we had fewer eggs to sell that week.
So was that his way of not having to do it anymore?
No, he just learned to do it right.
Okay.
There you go. There
So
you
we should
go.
have said too, we didn't have you tell about your siblings. So just tell about the age difference you mentioned between you and Dennis. So tell us your other four siblings, their names, and the age difference
Okay,
separation.
we'll start over. I
Okay.
was the oldest. Dennis was 13 months younger than I was. Uh, and then Ronnie, oh, you're testing me now.
Yeah.
And if you don't
Uh, he,
remember the age spans, that's okay.
he was I was born in 43. Dennis was born in 44. Ronnie was born in 47.
Okay.
Marvin was born in 49. Cindy was born, I can't remember the year, but I was 14 when she was born.
All right.
Okay.
The
And
baby girl.
yeah, she was the baby girl.
After four boys, she was, I'm sure, very welcomed.
Yep.
The
Yes.
girl.
I keep, and I keep telling her she's my favorite sister.
Oh,
Aw.
very
And she
special.
loves it, I'm
Good
sure.
Yeah.
So what, I know growing up on the farm, you've told us some stories. What is one of your favorite childhood memories?
Um, it wasn't a good one.
Oh, that's
Tell
okay.
us, do tell.
We had a chicken house in the backyard, and one day my Dennis and I decided that it would be fun to throw rocks at the windows.
Oh no.
Oh,
Behold, all the windows got broken out of the chicken house, and we
Oh
didn't
no.
know how that happened. Dad asked us how that happened. We didn't know.
Oh no.
how old were you at the time?
Probably 6 or 7.
And I assume, obviously, your mom and dad knew you did it.
Oh, obviously, and we paid
Yeah.
for it.
Oh,
Oh,
okay, I
you
was going to
paid for
ask
it.
what the consequence was.
The consequences. Yeah, Dad's belt came out, and
Yeah.
Oh no.
we were instructed not to do that again.
Yes, and I bet you never did do that again.
No, we didn't.
Dad, was there anybody when you were young who really you looked up to and admired or really influenced you as a young boy?
Uh, we had a neighbor. His name was Bob Drury, and uh, I really respected him. And he was our 4-H leader when got into 4-H, and we were neighbors, and we did work back and forth. And in the springtime, when it was haul manure, we'd go to his house and haul manure, and then they'd come to our house and we'd do the same thing. And we had a loader and a couple spreaders, and so it didn't take us much time to do that. But I really respected him. He was a good guy.
Yeah, I remember
Nice.
him growing
I
up.
do too. I do too. So, Dad, I know it's been fun for us to ask over the years. Tell us about your class and your graduating class. So you graduated from Rowan High School. How many were in your class? And tell us the makeup of that. And
Well, I'll start from the beginning. When I started school, Rowan started kindergarten. My brother started school the same year I did. He went to kindergarten and I went to first grade. And I graduated in 1961 from Rowan High School, and that was the last graduating class from that school. No one who graduated from Rowan High School went to kindergarten.
interesting. Yeah,
Interesting.
because you didn't do kindergarten. You started in first grade.
I was older, and so I went to first grade, and he went to kindergarten.
And didn't you always
Well,
tell
he made-
people it
Yeah,
was
I don't know.
because you were so advanced?
Right. Yeah, that must have been it. I don't know who made the decision how that worked out, but it did.
Wow.
And how many
people
were
did
in
you-
your class?
Yeah, go ahead.
When I graduated, there were 6 of us, all guys.
Oh, wow.
And at one time, and 2 of us were named Larry.
Oh,
And at one time, there were 3 Larrys in our class.
Oh, my goodness.
And so I imagine that was kind of confusing for the teacher.
Oh, I
When
bet.
she asked a question, she said, Larry, can you answer that? And all 3 of us kind of looked at each other and said, whose turn is it?
Oh, I love it. I love
popular
it.
name at the time.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so we're going to talk about how you and Mom met. So, kind of tell us the story. She on the last episode said it was a blind date,
Yes, it
and
was.
we want to hear it from your side of the story. Like how did you end up asking her out, and just tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the first time I didn't have to ask her out. It was a blind date.
Mm-hmm.
My brother was going with this girl, and they were having a picnic. Her and their families were having a picnic together, and she had a date with my brother. This gal did, and she didn't want to leave Carol alone when she was gone. So she said, "Well, Dennis has a brother. Why don't you go on a blind date with me with him?" And I think she was kind of hesitant. And and when I was asked to do it, I went, "Oh, okay, blind date. That doesn't sound. Wonder what she's like."
So, what was your first impression of her?
She was really cute. And
Redhead?
the redhead, oh yeah. And
Yeah.
we went to the Wright County racetrack. They had a quarter-mile racetrack, and they raced cars around. That was our first date.
Oh,
So
nice.
so was it awkward like Larry, this is Carol. Carol, this is Larry. Or had you been on other blind dates before?
No, that was the first one,
Yes.
blind date. Anyway, it was awkward, yeah. And I guess I don't remember a lot about the date, but I was kind of a shy fellow, but I did have enough nerve to ask her out again.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
And
Nice.
but yeah,
So, how did you know that she was the one, or when did you kind of figure that out?
um, I don't know. It just happened, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
She went to AIB, and so of course I had to drive from Belmont or from Rowan to Des Moines to date her. And so every week I went down to see her when she was going down there. And one weekend we were bowling, and she looked at me and she said, "Will you marry me?"
Oh, I think I've heard this
Yes.
Yeah.
and we always give her a hard time that you asked Dad, and she's like, "I did not. I did not."
Anyway, I said, "Of course." She said, "Well, I figured you were so shy you would never ask me."
Oh, really?
Okay, let's back up the train. How long had you been dating at that time then? Was spring your first blind date?
No, it was in the summertime.
Summertime.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I can't remember, she was a junior, I think. Was she going to be a senior? I think it's between her junior and senior year, then we started dating in her senior year. Uh, then she went to AIB, and I don't remember if it was her first year or second year. I was going to be drafted, so I joined the Air Force. And, so when I was in basic training, my folks said, "We're going to come down and see you." And I said, "That's fine, but don't come without Carol."
Oh,
And how did they react to that?
They said, "That's fine. That's fine."
Nice.
So we're in San Antonio, and we kind of were off and looking around and wandered in this jewelry store, and Dad said a little bit later, Dad said, "Do you need money?" And I said, "Yes, I do." "Well, how much do you need?" And I told him. And of course, back then, no ATM machines or anything like that. But he figured out how to get the money I needed. What I wanted it for was to buy a diamond.
oh,
So I bought a diamond, and I gave it to Carol and asked her to marry me, and the rest is history.
I love it. So were the two of you like, did you go into the jewelry store together? Did you actually look at diamond rings together?
Yes.
Okay. So we didn't ask her this. Was she expecting that it would happen right then and there?
Well, I don't know. I can't answer that.
Yeah.
I know one thing she said was when she went down there with your parents, that kind of like cemented the deal. Like she just knew, like, oh, I just can't live without him. Like I know he's the one. So The
So
timing
one
was
thing,
great.
It was.
yes. And one thing we didn't talk about, we talked about mom going to AIB after she graduated from high school. What was your path? So when you started dating mom, it was between her junior and senior year. How old were you and what were you doing at that time?
I had graduated and I was
Okay.
farming with my brother. We had rented my grandfather's farm,
Okay.
so that's what I was doing.
Yes.
Nice.
So,
I'll have to tell you a little story about when they came down there. They Cindy was with them, and she said we went to the hotel room, and she said, "I suppose Larry's going to have to sleep with Carol, so I can't sleep with her." Of course, that didn't happen, but
I'm sure
that was
that
in
didn't
San
happen.
Antonio.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That's,
sweet. I
yes.
love that. So how did you actually propose to her? Like where were you? How did that all come
When we
about?
bought the ring and we left the store, and
Was mom with you when you bought the ring?
yes,
Oh,
Oh.
we left the store, in the hotel room, asked her and gave it to her. She knew she was
Oh.
getting it because she was there with me.
yeah.
That is
Well, that is
sweet.
so cool. So we're going to get a little deep maybe, but what's something you admire most about mom today?
She is a lady that can take over a project and just take care of it and just do a good
Mm.
job. Right now, she's involved in the retirement uh, dinner that we're having on Sunday for our priest because he is retiring, and
Hmm.
nobody was stepping up to take care of to head it up, so she stepped in and just did it. And
Yeah.
she is a lady that can get up in front of people and talk, just like you guys, get up and talk. And I can do that, but I'm not as good at it as she is. Yeah, the love of my life. I love
Aw.
her so much.
Oh, we love
Aw.
that. Go ahead,
Dad,
Shell.
what do you think has helped I mean, you guys have been married. Is it going to be 62 years
Be
in
61.
June?
61.
61. Okay. So what has helped your marriage endure through all of the different seasons of your life, would you say?
Our faith. Without
Mm.
faith, we wouldn't have made it. I don't think. But
Mm-hmm.
and it's through your mother's leadership that kept us on the straight and narrow. And she just, yeah, I
Oh,
couldn't
She's
that's
ask
pretty
for
wonderful.
amazing.
it. She is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, she got an amazing guy too, so that's
that's right.
awesome.
Okay, we're going to
Yeah.
lighten things up a little bit. What's one of the funniest memories from your early years together? Newlywed couple or
Or
yeah,
even throughout any part of your marriage, really.
Hmm.
or something you remember the most that was fun?
We, yeah. I just, yeah, I can't think of any one single thing. It's just, uh, yeah, I don't
Well,
know.
I will say, Dad, oh, go ahead.
We've had a great life with just, yeah,
You're kind of the practical joker of the family. I remember years of Christmases on mom's side of the family and maybe even on your side where you and Ed, which is mom's sister's husband, would do gag gifts for each other. And I remember when you would be making these, and they were always homemade something, and you would be making those just dying laughing, belly laughing because you couldn't wait to give it to everybody. And I just remember just the funniest gifts that you guys would make and share back and forth. But yeah, you're kind of a practical joker, and I don't know if that's something that everybody knows about you.
I
well,
love it.
it, yeah, they say the best medicine is laughter. So,
That is
Yes,
true. That is true.
absolutely.
So,
Okay, we're
Dad,
gonna.
I was going to say, you were a farmer, but then we know you served time in the military and the Air Force, and then we also know you went to Iowa State. So, what was the order of how you did things? And did you go into the Air Force first and then go to Iowa State, or tell us about that?
yeah, I was, I went to the Air Force first because I was going to be drafted. And I thought if I'm going to be in the service, I just well go in someplace. I didn't want to be in the Army where I had to walk through the mud and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to learn something. So I
Mhm.
joined the Air Force, and I went from there to Lackland Air Force Base for basic training. Then I went up to Denver for missile training, and from there down to Orlando, uh, where I did some more missile training. And then I went to Okinawa for 18 months and worked in a missile site. And then I went from there to Grand Forks, North Dakota, and worked on Hound Dog missiles up there, and
Mm.
just as a mechanic. And then we came home. And between uh, Colorado and Florida, Carol and I got married. And so
Okay,
she moved to
yes.
Florida with me. And she couldn't go to Okinawa because they didn't have, for lower ranked people, they didn't have housing for married couples. So
Mm.
mom stayed home.
So timeline wise, before you jump into what I think you might be jumping into next, I'm going to just back it up a little bit. So December of 1964, you were engaged.
Yep.
So then
I think it was November.
you didn't, oh, I thought it was for Christmas. Anyway, that time, so it was 64, and then you got married June 26th of 1965. So is that right? Just like a 7 month So in that time, because you were in San Antonio when they came down, so you did all those different trainings during that time?
Right. Yep.
Okay. So you moved around quite a bit just to
Yep.
get the different training.
Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So back to your basic training, what was that like when you had basic training for the Army or the Air Force?
Well, I was older. I had been farming, and I was going to be drafted, and I think I was 20. And most of the other guys in basic training were just out of high school, 18 years
Mm.
old, 17 years old. And the most fun I had at basic training was they had an obstacle course.
Mm.
And
Oh.
we had to do all this stuff. And we got through it, and the sergeant says, "Okay, who wants to go again?" I said, "I do, sir." He says,
Oh.
"Shut up, really." That was the most fun I had in basic training, was going through the obstacle course,
Oh, I
and
love
I
it.
would again. It was fun.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So what friendships from your military years have stayed meaningful?
Um, I have a friend who lives in Oklahoma City area, and we keep in contact with each other. And his name is Frank. No, I can't remember his name.
That's
He's your
okay.
buddy from Oklahoma.
Yeah. Anyway, um, we were in Okinawa together, and when we left there, he went to South Dakota, and I went to North Dakota. So, but we kept in contact with each other. In fact, let's see, which one of you is? No, that's not the wrong. That's the wrong person.
Oh, are you talking about Bob
And
Lillibridge?
in North Dakota, we met the Lillibridges
Mm-hmm.
and Pam and Bob,
Mm-hmm.
and we're godparents of one of their children, and they're godparents of you, Shelley.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so we keep in contact with them quite often.
My
Mm-hmm.
favorite part about the Lillibridges is it seems like they were always in our life. Like they would, since they did have family in North Dakota,
Yep,
they would stop. Like we know they're actually Shelly and I were just at Bob and Pam's house a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
yep,
So yeah, I love that bond and that friendship,
yep,
which is
yep.
is so cool.
When we were in North Dakota, Bob and Pam and Carol and I went to A&W. Well, Carol got a A&W, you can come to beer mug, and
Wait
uh,
a minute, time out. I know where you're going with this. Is she going to want you to tell this story?
I think it's
probably,
harmless. I think
Okay,
it's
probably
totally
not.
harmless.
Okay, we'll keep telling it then. Mom, let the record show I tried to stop him from telling the story. Go ahead, Dad.
anyway, when we left, we got home, and she said, "Oh, I still have my root beer mug."
And it was the glass mugs back then, not
Last
just like
one, yeah.
the paper
And
cups.
it wasn't a big one. It was a little one. And so Bob has never let her forget that she took or ended up with a root beer mug.
Yeah, I
Right?
like how you change what you're saying there. And do you still have it? Because I remember that little tiny baby mug growing up. Like she kept the thing she thefted,
Yes.
I, Bob never
Accidentally,
let
yeah,
allegedly. Yes.
allegedly. And
us-
actually, didn't she say she wanted to return it? And you guys are like, nope, too
Too
bad.
late. Yeah.
Bob wouldn't let her.
She would never do something on purpose like that.
No,
But
not
yeah.
not at all.
So, Dad, what do you think you would tell a young person considering military service today?
I think every high school graduate should go to the military.
Mm.
I wish they had a year program where when you got out of high school, men and women, that you went in the military for a year.
Mm.
And in Estonia, that is a requirement.
Oh, wow.
You know, we had those two boys from Estonia that stayed with us when they were selling books, and that was
Mm-hmm.
a requirement that they be in the military for a year. And I
Wow.
think what it does is it gets you away from home, helps
Yep.
you grow up and be responsible. And I wish that was a requirement for the United States. And it also gives you a sense of belonging to a country that I fought for that country.
Mm.
And there's too many young people today, I think that, and I shouldn't categorize them like that, but there's too many of them that don't realize what a sacrifice that is to serve your country and a
Yes.
privilege.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just
Well,
think that would be a great requirement. There'd be a lot of people who fight that, but
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
yeah,
So
Well,
since we
thank,
aren't that
yeah.
way, obviously it sounds like what you would tell someone considering it, do it.
do it. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. And thank you for your service, Dad.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much educational, it isn't just going and carrying a gun and whatever. There's so much education that you can get there for free.
Oh, I
And so,
bet. A lot of leadership too.
right.
And
Well,
so then you came back from the Air Force and then you went to Iowa State. Is that correct?
well, when I came back, I went to Ellsworth College in Iowa Falls
Mm-hmm.
because I was short a few English credits, and then I went from there to Iowa State.
Okay.
Okay. And
And
what was your
before we,
major?
What's that?
What was your major at Iowa State, Dad?
Electronic technology.
Okay.
okay, I want to back up a little bit too before we get into that. So you were married June 26, 1965, and then shortly after that, you guys moved to Florida, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then how long was it before you were sent off to Okinawa from when you were married?
Uh, Probably about 9 months.
Okay,
I
because
think
what I'm
I think March of the next year, March or April, I was sent to Okinawa.
okay, and I ask that question because we're going to shift into fatherhood here. So you were actually in Okinawa when your first son, our oldest brother Chris, was born. So what was it like becoming a father for the first time when you were halfway around the world? And like, how did they communicate with you that he was even born?
You have to realize back then there was no such thing as a cell phone.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
There was a telephone line to Okinawa, and when Chris was born, the doctors at the hospital said to Carol, "You have to call your husband and tell him." And so they didn't even have phones in the hospital room, and she had a very hard pregnancy, and so they wheeled her out in the bed to the nurses station, and they made the call. And fortunately, I had a really strange shift. So I worked from 7 in the morning to 7 at night, 3 days a week, and then I was off 4 days, and then I worked from 7 at night to 7 in the morning.
Mm.
But when she called, I was in the barracks.
Oh, wow.
So, I was just lucky that I was there. The timing was perfect.
Yes.
Anyway, she told me that we had a son, And I don't remember how long the telephone call was, but I was elated. Well, then I got worried. The, and Chris was almost a year old when I saw him the first time. And
Wow.
I thought, will he know who I am? Will he come to me? Or will he,
Uh-huh.
it was a scary thing. Well,
I
we sent a
bet.
lot of pictures back and forth. So he learned who I was through pictures this first year.
Oh,
Wow.
And so that was, so when Andy was born, to me, that was a whole new process.
oh, I
Yes.
bet.
Yeah. And so,
Yes. That's
anyway,
awesome. So
that,
you and mom had 6 kids. I'm number 3 in the lineup. Jenny's number 4. How did parenting change for you from child number 1 to child number 6?
um, to be honest, your mom was the parent. I was busy
Mm,
making a living. I was trying
mm-hmm.
to make enough money to feed everybody.
Yeah.
So uh, when my parents and my grandparents grew up, the man's job was to make the living. The
Mm-hmm.
woman's job was take care of the household.
Mm-hmm.
And I look back on that and I feel bad about I didn't help Carol in the house as much as I should have. And uh, I have changed.
Mm-hmm.
Now I help with the laundry and help with the vacuuming and help with the cooking the meals and I don't do it all by any means, but we kind of share that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of that is because when we was on the farm when I was growing up, my grandparents lived in a house on the side of the road that had the barn and the stuff. And when we were milking, we could look in the kitchen windows and see Grandpa and Grandma washing dishes together.
Ah,
Oh.
I think that made an impression on me. I thought, oh, I guess I can help.
that's
And
Mm-hmm.
back
awesome.
then, for a man to help do the dishes was a really different thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I
Good
know if you asked
message.
mom too, she would fully embrace that. I mean, she did a phenomenal job, but she embraced that that was her job. She knew that
Yeah,
Yes.
you were,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
which
Mm-hmm.
is pretty
That's the
cool.
way things were.
Yeah.
Now it's
Yes.
completely different, and yeah, I don't have a problem if I see a dirty dish going and washing it,
Mm-hmm.
and
You guys are a really good team. That's been
Yes,
really
you
fun to
are.
watch too,
you
Mm-hmm.
which is good. Okay, Shelley, just so you know, I'm skipping ahead a little bit here because there's some good ones
Perfect.
I definitely want to
Mm-hmm.
get to. So,
Yeah.
I guess, Dad, looking back, what are you the most proud of as a dad?
you guys, my
Oh.
kids.
Oh, yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
just the day that Joe graduated from college, all my kids graduated from college, and I was so proud of that.
Mm-hmm.
And and they all pretty much did it on their own. We did what we could, but uh, they were you guys were all very successful, and I was really proud of the fact that you all had graduated. But now things have changed. Back then it was a push for everybody to go to college.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's not that way anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem was is everybody had college education, but then they shipped all those jobs overseas.
Mm.
Well, if you're a plumber or electrician or any of those jobs, you can't ship those overseas.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So now my grandchildren are not all graduating from college, but they're are doing important jobs and
Mm-hmm.
probably more successful than if they did have a degree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that
Without the college debt too.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
that's a good change. I
It's
see that.
becoming more normalized. It used to be like, oh, if you couldn't get into college, then you did something in the trades. But now I think people are realizing that, we want smart people in the trades too. And it's very lucrative and it's a very, very important job. So I'm glad the
Mm-hmm.
shift is,
I
not one or the other. It's like choose what path you need to go on for
Mm-hmm.
you.
yeah,
Yeah, both
Yeah.
my son Jonah and Shelly's son Nolan tried college and like this is not for me, and they both have
Yeah.
super successful jobs. So
good
that's
for you.
Mm-hmm.
really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Real
let's
proud.
kind of keep going with the work, Jen. How's that sound?
Okay. Yep.
So,
Yep.
Dad, you have had lots of different jobs over the years. Um, what were some of those jobs, and what was your first job? Tell us a little bit about that.
My first job off the farm, I went to work for Interstates Electric in Sioux Center, and my job was to bid jobs and to draw up electrical jobs and work for electrical company. And we did things like hospitals and schools and feed mills and all over the country.
Mm.
And that was a very interesting thing to do. Yeah.
Oh, I
It was.
bet.
We moved from Ames, Iowa, to Sioux Center, Iowa, and Sioux Center is a very Dutch community. At
Mm-hmm.
that time, I took you kids to the park one Sunday afternoon to play in the park, and nobody was there. And we looked
Oh.
around, and people were looking out the windows to see who was out in the park because they did nothing on Sundays.
Oh, not
Oh.
even play and go to the
And,
park.
and if you want, and if they had family picnic, they did it Saturday night
Really?
on
Mm,
Sunday.
they
And
actually
there was,
rested.
yeah, and there was one a restaurant that was the only thing that was open on Sunday, and it was not in the city limits. It was outside the city limits.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
And they
That's where
said
I
that,
was born.
yeah,
Yes.
and they said that when that restaurant first opened, half the people went, and the other half people drove by to see who was there.
Oh. So they may were a little nosy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
quite a change to go from Ames, Iowa, to Sioux Center
Oh,
because
I
everything
bet.
Yeah.
I
is so
bet.
different.
So then after Sioux Center, where did you guys go and what did you do?
Uh, I I had a yearning to farm again,
Mm,
and so I knew this lady that had a farm, and her renter was going to retire. So I called her and asked her if I'd like to rent her farm. And well, I was in Sioux Center, so that didn't look very practical.
mm,
So she rented it to another neighbor, but he didn't rent the house, he just farmed the land.
mm.
So then I decided, here I was with 3 kids. I just said, I told my boss, I'm done. I'm leaving.
Mm.
And so we moved back to a Rowan area, no job, 3 kids.
Hmm.
But the fortunate part was is my dad was an electrician and a carpenter, and so I went to work shingling and wiring and whatever I could do.
Nice.
And so then I went back to that lady and said, uh, I'd like to rent your farm. Well, she said, would you move in the house? And I said, yes. So then I rented her farm.
Mm-hmm.
And so I farmed for 20 years, and things were really tough that last couple of years. And I decided I did a cash flow and decided I wasn't going to make any money. Maybe I would break even at the end of the year. So I decided, as much as I love farming, that I didn't want to go backwards. And I
Mm-hmm.
was doing electrical work and carpenter work at the same time I was farming, and so I just transferred to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
Sold
And
out.
that was in the 80s.
Yeah, it was in the late '80s.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
remember that.
we got the experience of doing farm life, walking beans, picking up rock, doing
Yeah,
all the farm stuff. And you kind of had bratty kids because I remember you telling all of us that you were going to have to stop farming and you were very emotional about it. And I think that all of us were like, yay, no more walking beans, woohoo. And you probably thought, what little brats? Like they don't get this because we didn't, and we were
no,
old
Yeah.
enough that we should have probably gotten it. But
yeah,
that was the first thing that crossed our mind, I think, is like, oh, good, no more farm work.
And we got to move closer to town.
yeah.
Yes, yes.
But anyway,
That
Yeah.
is good.
so then I did electrical work and carpenter work and some plumbing and some furnace work and a little bit of everything to keep the family going.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working at a woodworking plant, and they made panels for Winnebago, and I did their wiring and stuff. And the boss said, "When you get done today, I want you to come up to my office." So I went up to the office, and he said, "I'm going to retire." And I said, "Well, good for you, Errol. That's really great." But he said, "I picked you to manage this place." I'm going, "What?" Well, he said, you said you didn't know how much longer you could do the wiring and stuff, crawling in crawl spaces and attics and stuff. So I would like you to manage this place.
That's
Well, I
awesome.
think really what he was doing was he was hiring a permanent electrician.
Oh, sure. He
Besides
was no
that,
dummy.
yeah. So anyway, I ended up working there for a little over 10 years, I think.
Hmm.
I really enjoyed doing that. It was a new process because I was a loner working my electric business, and all of a sudden I had employees. So
Right.
that
Yeah.
was a challenge I had to overcome and figure
Hmm.
out how to do that. But I had a really good plant manager, and he and I worked together really well. And when we wanted to change something, we'd talk about it and get together, and we agreed on most things, and so it worked out really good.
Yeah,
That's
that's
awesome.
awesome.
Well, I know, Dad, looking back on growing up in our childhood and everything, you worked really hard outside of the home. Mom worked really hard inside of the home, but you were always at our events. That's what I
Hmm.
remember. So, and looking now, Shelley, I'm kind of going rogue here, but
Go
just
for
coming
it,
to my
Jen.
brain. You were, I love the fact that you guys were always at the sporting events, and you're such sport enthusiasts now, and you do lots of events for the grandkids that you go to. But when we were kids, tell us more about that. Was that just a non-negotiable, or is that your fun social time?
Um, we had a neighbor that it was planting time, and he said, "Are you going to go to that track meet?" I said, "No, I'm going to plant corn." He said, "Listen, young man, I'm going to tell you, you can plant corn anytime, but that track meet will never be done it again. So
Oh.
you better go to the track meet." So uh, I thought, oh, he's right. So we tried to get to every event that we could, whether it was played at home or away.
Hmm.
And one time, Shelley was playing basketball in junior high, and Andy was wrestling in another town. And we went to Shelley's basketball game. And when we got to the wrestling meet, Andy was just walking on the mat. We almost missed
Hmm.
his, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I said, to everybody, I got everybody together, and I said, okay, new rules. The oldest one, if there's two events, the oldest one is the one we're going to. There,
Hmm.
catch up.
Yep.
It
And
never
that,
happened again.
oh, well, and I was going to say that was such a smart rule. And I think at the time,
But,
because I
but we never
remember that, and I thought that makes
use it.
total
So it never
sense.
happened again.
It never
Well,
happened
but
again.
it
Yeah.
Yeah.
is a good rule because I think there's a lot of families out there that are running ragged trying to do everything. And I thought that was really, I do remember you saying that because, and I thought, yeah, I'll get my time eventually because Chris will go off to college, Andy will go off to college,
Yeah.
and there's no way with six kids, there's no way to go see everybody's everything. But yeah,
Yeah.
you guys were always there, I felt like. But I thought that is a really good way to look at it too. Like we will do what we can, but you can't run yourself ragged either.
Okay, one other thing that I remember from childhood that I shared with my kids, like I remember doing junior high sports and having to wait after practice until you could finish a job and come and pick me up. And there were times it was like, I don't know if it was half an hour, but it seemed like it, right? And I just
Mm-hmm.
knew, I just was waiting until dad got there. And then my own kids, if I was like 3 minutes late, where have you been? And I had to
Yes.
say, listen, listen.
Right. You don't know what waiting is.
Yes, yes.
I think, and back in that day, I swear, maybe this isn't true, but I feel like the coaches, everybody left. And I was just like sitting outside, but it was like no big deal. Maybe they were inside waiting, but we
Yeah.
lived, what, 12 miles out of town, something like that. And
Yeah.
so I remember we had a payphone at the high school that when we got back, because there were no cell phones, that you could call on the way home on the bus to say, hey, pick me up at this time. So we would call collect because calls were, I think were they long distance from Belmont to
They
Rowan?
should-
They shouldn't have been, but I feel like we did that where, or maybe we didn't have money to use the payphone, so we would
Oh,
just do it that way. And then when the person on the other line would say, would you accept a collect call from blah, blah, blah? You would say no. And that's how I knew to hang up and you knew I was ready to get picked up. It was a great little system.
yes. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, Shell, let's keep rolling
Yep.
here. Okay, so your faith journey. We're going to dive into your faith journey because I know you converted to Catholicism, and it's been fun as your kids to watch your faith journey grow. So, how has your faith changed over the decades?
Well, when I was dating Carol, she was Catholic and I was a Congregationalist and Protestant. And we were talking about, she said, I could never leave my church. I said, well, my feeling is that if I married a Catholic, I would become a Catholic because I want my kids to go. I don't want religion split up in our family. I want everybody to go to the same church. She said, you would? I said, yes.
That scored you major brownie points right there.
For sure.
Yes. No. Anyway, so when I was in the service before we got married, I took in Colorado, I went through the process and became a Catholic. And my good friend Joe Weber was my sponsor, and he made a comment one day about, "Oh, you're not even a Catholic, and you're a better Catholic than I am."
I love that.
But I thought that was important that the mom and dad should be the same faith, so the kids wouldn't be torn. And I know a lot of families make that work, but I was not willing to go that way. But anyway, I guess I have grown in my faith as I do things now that I never did when I was younger. Um, I had a brother-in-law, Yale Shrett, who worked out at Eaton. They built valves and stuff, and they had on Friday mornings they had a Bible study
Tell
at the
them what
plant.
time. Tell them what
What's that?
time it was.
Oh, at 6 o'clock in the morning. Well, actually it was 5 o'clock in the morning, and they told the plant manager or somebody told them they couldn't hold Bible studies there anymore. So he owned an old cabin out at Elm Lake, and they would go out there and before work, and that's why it was 5 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, so he asked me to come out, and that's been probably 35 years ago. And Yale has since passed away, and another brother-in-law, Jim Terry, he passed away. And I'm of the original group, I'm the only one left.
Wow.
So I picked up a couple other guys. We still meet. Now we meet Friday mornings at 6 o'clock in the morning over in Clarion at a house. And so what we do is we read the daily word and discuss that, whatever day that is. And we enjoy getting together and visiting with each other and how'd your week go and all this kind of stuff. And so it's been a long journey. And I used to we read from the Word Among Us, and so the only time I read that was on Fridays when we met. And then they would start talking about, oh, this week, did you read this week about what's going on? And I'm going, wait a minute, I'm missing out here. I start my day by, well, the first thing we do in the morning is before we get up, we pray, Carol and I together. And we pray for all of our family members and our friends and everyone who needs healing. And we pray for a lot of different people or first thing in the morning before we get up. Then I take my word among us and go down on the treadmill and read that while I'm on the treadmill and get my daily readings in. And when I was working, if doing electrical work, I'd have a problem I couldn't figure out. And I'd just say, okay, Lord, you got to help me out here. I don't know what to do. And sometimes it was questions would come to my mind, and I'd ask the owners that I was working about what happened, and they would tell me, and they'd be the answer. And I always gave that to the Lord and said, Lord, thank you for helping me get through this. So ever since then, that's when I started doing that. I don't know how I started doing it, but I did. And even today, if something looks like it's not quite right, you go, okay, Lord, you're going to help me through this. And he does. So
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
and it's really been fun watching you guys in your journey of faith. It's just,
Well, we learned it by watching you, okay?
Yeah. Jeez.
And mom, yes, and mom. Yeah. So what do you hope your children and grandchildren take away from you about your faith?
I hope they all realize that without God, there's nothing. You cannot name anything that you have done, unless it's bad, that God wasn't involved. It's just, it's you might say, well, I don't pray every day. Well, you don't have to sit down and pray for hours. Just thank God for whatever you've got. Doesn't make a difference. And your mom even thanks God for flush toilets.
Yes. Yes, we saw that.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess I hope for each one of my grandchildren that they realize how important God is in their lives. Yeah. So,
Well, this is a good transition into grandparents. This is Father's Day week, and we know your grandkids are so important to you. What is the best part about being a grandpa?
the most fun is watching them develop into adults and all the different things that they do. And we've just sporting events. There's more sporting events we've done that I was not even involved with. There's been soccer and swimming and gymnastics and all those things. We were the typical basketball, baseball, that kind of thing, you know. And track, and that's something different. Cross country is different, and just seeing them involved in different events. And not only that, when they get out of college and get, or even out of high school, and they get involved in their jobs. There's more jobs out there that there's so many choices. I don't know how they decide what to do.
Right?
Right.
But and my advice to them is do something you love. So it's not a job. I told my employees once, I've never had a job I hated. They go, what? I said, there might be things about the job I don't like, but I've always enjoyed every job I've ever had. And I said, I think the grandchildren should know that whatever you do something you love, and you're not work.
Right. And look for the good. Like there's always something good.
Yep.
Right. Good. So how is grandparenting different from parenting?
I can feed them all the sugar I want and send them home.
And you do.
And you have. Yeah. Which they love.
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
But it's really fun visiting with the older ones and seeing their viewpoints and yeah, they've taught me a lot.
Yeah.
And
What are some
whenever I
things
need
they've taught
computer
you?
help,
Computer help.
computer help.
Yes, they're good at that.
Yes, they are.
What are some of the things that they've taught you?
To be patient. Uh, yeah, that they're not all the same. They're all different, just like you guys were. And it amazes me how, even with you six guys, how different you all are,
Mm-hmm.
and yet the same. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing. God has really blessed us, and I thank the Lord every day for the healthy bodies and great minds that all you guys have,
Mm,
and the Lord has blessed us, our family, so much.
that's so true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Jen, let's keep this rolling into the next
Yes.
section. Are you good with that?
Yep. Yep.
Um, all right, Dad. So we're kind of winding down. We have a few last questions, and then we're going to do our rapid fire round that we'll just ask you some quick questions. But what do you hope people remember most about you and your life?
I I think about all these people who are congressmen and presidents and even community members that are busy all the time in the community, and I think that's not me. I guess I hope they remember that I raised a good family, and that they will along the line step forward and be good community members, and not that I did that, but that I hope that they will.
Oh, you did do that though.
Yes, you
Well,
did.
uh,
Yes.
yeah, and yeah, it's just I cannot wish them any more than the best. Just be the best you can be, and I know that's an army thing, but that's our
Oh,
It's a good life thing too, though, right?
yeah,
It's a good
yeah.
life thing.
And always thank the Lord for He's done for you.
Amen. Amen.
so here's one that's a little, I don't know. So, what matters less to you now than it did when you were younger?
Well, I always thought I wanted to be a millionaire,
Mm.
and I got to the point where, oh, I gave up on the first million. I was working on the second. Money isn't important to me as much as it used to be,
Mm.
and uh, it's just some days I get up and I go, wow, I got another day, and
Mm.
it's you kind of stop, and when you're retired, you kind of stop and smell the roses a little bit and
Mhm.
enjoy the beauty of the world, and I don't know, it's just and enjoy the people that you have around you and your family, and we bought a car 2 years ago, and we've got 35,000 miles on it that we put on, and most of the trips are to grandkids events and family events.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that's the fun.
Yeah,
You
that's
guys are
awesome.
always there. So then on the
Mhm.
same lines, what matters more to you today than it did when you were younger?
My faith, um,
Mhm.
yeah, when I was busy trying to make a living, I had faith, but it's not like it is now.
Mm.
Uh, I guess I spend more time praying and reading the gospel than I ever did before. And
Mhm.
part of that's due to your mom. She's a good influence, and
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
we say the rosary every day, and that's important.
Mhm. Well, you have lived a good life, Dad. You've been a great positive influence on your kids, and I know you're well respected in your community, and your grandkids love you, and I think that's definitely the definition of a successful life, a life well lived. So we
Uh,
love you
Mm-hmm.
so much. But we
Yes,
know
we
that you
do.
are the humorous practical joker type. So we're going to end on a light note with
Yes.
just these rapid fire questions. So don't overthink it. Just go with your gut on and these are not that deep. So really there's just
Yes.
say whatever comes to mind. So are you ready?
okay,
Okay, Jen, you start.
Coffee or tea?
tea,
Hot or iced tea?
Ice.
Early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
Favorite childhood food?
Butterscotch malt.
Ooh.
Oh.
Favorite comfort food now?
Pizza.
Oh. One word mom would use to describe you.
Ooh, that's tough. Yeah, I'm always there. It's not
Awesome.
one word, but
That's 2 words technically, but we'll allow it.
What about one word you would use to describe mom?
beautiful.
Oh, I love that. Most adventurous thing you've ever done?
Oh, in Hawaii, we went on those what do they call them? Zip
Zip
line.
line?
Zip line.
Oh,
Oh,
fun.
nice.
that's
Nice.
awesome. Okay, what's something the grandkids don't know about you?
I don't know.
That's not really rapid fire,
Yeah,
but we thought it'd be
that's
fun.
not.
We thought
That
we'd
one's
get some
too
dirt
deep.
on you and
Yeah.
we'd figure something out. So,
Okay, last one, and this one isn't really rapid fire either, but what's one thing you're still hoping to do in life?
I hope I stay healthy enough to see all my grandkids graduate from high school.
Nice. I love
love
that.
it.
I love it.
Absolutely. So I'm going to circle it back really quick to the Bible verse we started with. Proverbs chapter 20, verse 7. The righteous man walks in his integrity. His children are blessed after him. So, with this being the Father's Day week, Dad, you definitely are a person with integrity, and we love you so much. And we are so blessed that you're our dad.
Yes,
I'm
we are
blessed.
proud to be your children.
I'm blessed to have you as daughters.
Oh,
Yes.
Well, we will wrap this up by saying, as always, if you have found value in this podcast, please share it with others. You can like, subscribe. We're on all of the major platforms: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at Abundantly Favored. And always remember that you are abundantly favored.
And one last thing to all the fathers out there, I hope you have a wonderful Father's Day. And happy Father's Day to you, Dad.
Yes.
Thank you.
We love you.
We love
I
you.
love you.